Hello dear students, welcome to part 1 of the 3-part video series on equality. This is chapter 3 of book 2 of grade 11 political science. Now, first we'll discuss what is the idea of equality. So, the first question that comes to our mind in this case is that what can be the relationship between freedom and equality. So we discussed the concept of freedom in the previous chapter. So how are freedom and equality related? Is it directly proportional or inversely proportional? Like you might have read in your earlier math classes that directly proportional means that when freedom will increase, equality will also increase. But if it's the case of inversely proportional, then if freedom will increases, then equality decreases, or if when equality increases, freedom decreases. So this is a question that you will have to think about. Of course, I can give you, like, in this whole chapter we will try to understand this relation, like how are freedom and equality related. So free but poor Indians versus slave but equal Indians. So, like in India, we see that there is a lot of poverty. Like you have rich people like Ambani and the Tata Birlas, all those people, and then we have a lot of poor population also who lives in the slums. So, and if we look at the average monthly income of India per person, it's around like 3,000 to 5,000. So if we make everybody equal in India, then everybody will be getting like more maximum 5,000 rupees per month as their salary. So in that case, all Indians will be equal, but all Indians will be poor. While in the opposite case, we have rich people in India, and then we have also poor people in India. So like rich people, they can, like, even during this Corona thing, they were like getting more rich. If you look at the world, world over, then the top 5 billionaires made more money during the quarantine, while normal people lost their jobs, lost their homes. So, like, there is a lot of inequality in this world. So this is a constant debate, like what kind of world. These are two different extreme positions in the world. So where do you lie? Do we lie somewhere on the middle or on the two of the either extremes? So this is the thing which we are going to discuss in this chapter. Now Osho is an Indian philosopher. So he said something about equality. I will try to open this article, then we'll be able to read it. Just give me a second till it opens. Yes, so here is the article. So Osho says, beware of equality, it is against freedom. Uh, so he reads something like, people forget, this is the second paragraph, people forget that the person who will make them all equal will himself remain free and unequal. He will remain outside of them all. He will have no fetters on his feet and he will have a gun in his hand. Now you can well envision a society where most people are in shackles and a handful are free and powerful with all modern instruments of suppression and oppression at their disposal. So he says that in the name of equality and under cover of equality, freedom could get destroyed. Then it will be nearly impossible to win it back because those who destroy freedom will see to it that the chances of it being revived in the future are also destroyed. Secondly, while freedom is an absolutely natural phenomenon which everyone must have as his right, equality is not. Equality is neither natural nor possible. All people cannot be equal because they are basically unequal. But everybody should be free to be what he is and what he can be to be himself. If equality is forced on people, then their freedom is bound to diminish and disappear. Anything imposed with force is synonymous with slavery. So this is what Osho has said about freedom and equality. Now, Aristotle, one of the three great Greek philosophers, he has said that inequality is the cause of rebellion. So, can you give me any examples where inequality has led to rebellion? Pause this video and you can think about it. So, one of the examples that I can give is the 1857 revolt. So, because the Indians were treated unequally compared to the Britishers, Indians decided that it's time to revolt. So that is what the 1857 revolt was. Mahatma Gandhi revolt did a rebellion kind of in South Africa because he saw that the Indians and black people were treated differently as compared to white people. Now, uh, if you talk about communist or socialist revolution, so communist revolution happened in China and Soviet Russia. Soviet Russia in 1917 and Communist China in 1949. So the cause of this rebellion was inequality of wealth. So if the rich people are suffering and the poor people are enjoying a good life, then there will be a rebellion because of the inequality. But the question here can be that there is something called relative poverty. So the term is relative poverty. So relative poverty is when you feel poor because you compare yourself with your neighbor or some other person. So you might be driving a bike, but if you see another person in a car, then you might feel poor. Correct. So your poverty is not dependent on any fixed phenomena. Your poverty keeps decreasing or increasing in relation to whoever you compare it with. So if you compare yourself with a person who has just a bicycle, then you will feel rich because you have a bike. So again, even if you get a car, then you will start comparing yourself with a person who has a Mercedes or something. If you get a Mercedes, then you will start comparing yourself with a person who has like a sports car, like Ferrari or something. If you get a Ferrari, you will start comparing yourself with a person who has a personal chopper. When you get a personal chopper, you start comparing yourself with a person who has a personal jet. So of course, your poverty will keep increasing because you are comparing it with other people. So in that case, will it lead to rebellion or not? That is a question we again need to think about. So this is what Aristotle said on justice. So justice is something which we'll discuss in the upcoming chapters. But the concept of justice, according to Aristotle, is that treating equals equally and unequals unequally. So you should treat two people who are equal, you should treat them equally. But if you see a person who is more powerful and if you see a person who is less powerful, then you should treat them unequally. Now, how should this treatment be is a matter of discussion. So you might have seen images on the internet of equality and equity. So I will try to show you one of those images. Just a second, my system seems to be, yes. Now it's back to normal. Yes, so one of these images. So equality is that if you give everybody the same treatment, then it is not enough because these people are not equal. So treating unequals equally will lead to a problem. You need to treat unequals unequally. So if this child needs more support, then you give them more support. This man does not need a support, so you don't provide them support. Okay. So with this we conclude this slide. I will open this slide directly. So the modern concept of equality. So equality is a prescriptive term, not a descriptive term. So equality is not about what is currently happening because society in its current state is actually unequal. There's a lot of inequality. So equality is a prescription that society should be more equal. So it's more about what should be than what is right now. Now, U.S. Declaration of Independence. If we open this, we'll able to read like this was the Declaration of Independence which the founding fathers of the United States of America wrote to proclaim their independence from uh, Britain, that is UK. So when in the we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to effect their safety and happiness. So again, this says that all men are created equal by God and they should be treated equally. And if a government that violates this principle should be overthrown by the people. But the question is, are all men, that is humans, equal in their physical or mental capacities, beauty and talents? So of course, not all people are equal. Some people are more physically strong. Some people are less physically strong. Of course, you can cover this distance with exercise and nutrition, but of course, naturally people are not equal. Mental strength also is very different. Some people are might be good at a particular subject but bad at another subject. Correct. So again, some people are good at speaking their mind but are not good at writing. So of course, people are not naturally equal. So, but are there any areas in which nature does not discriminate between humans? So of course, like all of us have the same red blood that flows through us. Of course, there are different blood groups, but every one of us, the color of all people's blood is red. Correct? All of us are humans and we are mortal. All of us will die one day. Correct? So, like these are things which make we all feel emotional. We all feel hunger. We all feel the need, for water, that is thirst. So, in these areas, humans are equal. We all have similar needs. So the question is the idea of equality as natural as freedom? So when you look at these two previous points, then then you'll have to make your decision when you compare these 2 points. Of course, men are unequal in certain cases, but there are certain other areas in which we are equal also. So of course, the idea of equality is somewhat natural, that in nature certain things are equal while there is also inequality. Now, liberty is another term for freedom. Liberty enables men to acquire unlimited wealth, power, and prestige, while equality seeks to diminish their achievements. So, what is the meaning of this statement? So, when a person has unlimited liberty, freedom, then they can make others their slaves and use those slaves to acquire more power and money. Correct? But if you make everybody equal, then nobody can have slaves. Everybody has to grow their own food, everybody has to fight their own battles, everybody has to earn their own money. Correct? So now nobody can achieve that unlimited wealth and power. So freedom allows one person to achieve that unlimited wealth and power at the cost of others, while equality does not permit that. So should freedom be also equal? Big and small fish, should we give them equal freedom? Then again, if we give them equal freedom, then naturally the big fish will eat the small fish. So somewhere we need to limit the freedom of the big fish while also making sure that it does not hamper its survival. Then if you stop the big fish from eating the small fish, then somewhere you need to provide alternate food sources for the big fish. Correct? So in this way, we need to balance the concepts of freedom and equality. Next, I will end this video here. In the next video, we'll discuss about absolute and or literal equality. Thank you. See you next time.